call a cow that twerk?
What?
A milkshake.
Bitch, I'm dead.
It's the first day of the fall season, so start making all of those Halloween memes. As always, make sure to follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at It's Lielers. And also do not forget to follow me on TikTok at Lielers. Lielers on TikTok. I am so happy because the surprise blog video is out on the YouTube channel. So if you are listening, please go check it out. So in case you didn't know what the blog is about, this past week has been hectic to a point that I don't even know what day it is. I know it's Sunday, but once I finish this episode, I'm still gonna think it's like Saturday or something else. So on Wednesday, September 18th, I went to Dallas. Yeah. And I went to go see Slipknot live. Oh my God. I still cannot get over that. And if you think that's the only thing I did, you're mistaken. Because the next day, I came back home only to go see Slaughter to Prevail live. Yeah. 2 big, massive concerts back to back. Oh my God. I don't know how I did it, but hey, it happened. So yeah, September 18th, Slipknot was performing their songs from the self-titled album, which, by the way, I don't know how in the hell I still remember all of those lyrics. But on the blog video, it consists only a few songs. Same thing with Slaughter to Prevail, except for the fact that I realized I put most of Slaughter to Prevail songs on there because they only perform, 5 songs? And I just said, fuck it. Except for Broadbus. So during Broadbus, when I was recording, people were like sitting down in their seats. And some of them were like blocking my view to a point that I had to stop the recording and then re-record again. So I just insert a few clips here and there because during that performance, specifically with Broadbus, is that there was a fan that got on stage with, Alex and everybody else, and I'm over here all jealous and shit, just watching. I'm like, must be nice. But yeah, I had so much fun, so definitely go check out that blog video. But it's not just the concert itself. You guys get to see me, obviously traveling to Dallas and back, but I also did a few pit stops while I was in Dallas. One of them in particularly was where I went to go visit the grave of Vinnie Paul and Dimebag Darrell, since it's literally right next to Dallas. It's in Arlington, Texas, which from the hotel that I was staying at, I think it was like a 40-minute drive, which, I mean, it's like here in Houston, whenever I have to go to some place far, it's like nothing. So I was like, fuck it, we'll do it. But yeah, I did that, and then I also went to the Warhammer store, and that happens to be in Grapevine, Texas. That store specifically, I went there because somebody told me about it, and I just said, you know what, I'm gonna go there if I'm ever in the area. And I'm not big on Warhammer. I do explain it like in the blog video why I went there too. So yeah, more reasons why y'all need to go check out that blog video. And I was also not expecting it for it to be like almost 2 hours long, so it's like an hour and 45 minutes. But when you're looking at the blog video, on the description, I actually like separated it in categories, so if you guys just want to skip ahead to the performance, you can, whatever, it's up to y'all. But it's out there, so go check it out. I'm not gonna spend so much time talking about it on this episode. I'm like, no, you guys came here to hear what I gotta say in pop culture, and oh my God, yes, it's a lot. But I feel like specifically talking about the music category, because we're going to be talking about Metallica. We're going to be talking about Vended's new album. Hell, we're also going to be talking about Ice Nine Kills and Bad Omens. But not only that, did you know that Magic the Gathering is collaborating with Chucky? I was like, oh God. So yeah, stay tuned for all of this information. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this episode started. In case you didn't know or was probably not listening to this podcast a year ago, We actually talked about Ocean Gate and this whole topic about what could possibly have happened, and then the recent discovery of how the ship just imploded. And the reason why I'm talking about it right now is because I wanted to share an update about a footage that was released on social media. And I'm like, well, since we talked about it back then, fuck it, why not? Let's go ahead and give y'all an update. The footage that was released basically covers that very small sub already submerged to the bottom of the ocean, like literally near Titanic. So I mean, it made its journey regardless of how it happened. And the thing is that when you look at the video, you can actually see the Titan's cable and the outer shell, but the other half is missing, which of course once it implodes, some parts actually did get dissolved and whatnot. But whenever I saw that video, it is crazy to see how all of that just stayed intact, like the shell and those cables, but yet like us humans, like we just evaporated in the sea. And that's what happened to the people that were on board. So that's why I'm like, damn, you can't mess with the fucking ocean, and it's scary down there. It's just things that happen, things that we are probably not well aware of what is actually happening. It terrifies me. And I think I mentioned it before, so I'll mention it again. And I'm pretty sure you heard of this, is that supposedly that NASA, when it was created, their mission was to study the ocean. And then all of a sudden, they just started studying space. And so people are wondering now, it's like, holy shit, let's get all of humanity out of the earth because there is something down there that, I don't know. I'm just leaving it out there. I know some of you are saying Cthulhu or something like that. I'm like, I don't think that's the case, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, whatever's underneath there, it terrifies me, which is more reasons of why I won't go near the ocean. Maybe like at the edge, but deep down, I'm like, no, bye. You know, I'd rather stay on ground level. So there's that. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and kick off the movies category. And since we're already talking about Ocean Gate, let's move to James Cameron. So I found a report from Deadline supposedly saying that James Cameron is set to direct Last Train from Hiroshima. That's what the title is called. And he will direct it as soon as he's done with Avatar production, or if it even allows him to do it. It said that the film follows the man who survived the atomic blast at Hiroshima, got on a train to Nagasaki, and then survived a nuclear explosion in that city. I'm like, talk about bad luck. But I did read the comments of that post, and some people were against that James Cameron were to direct it. Maybe it should be handed to somebody of Japanese descent to keep with the culture. But me, I'm like, I don't know. It just depends, because it doesn't look promising for James Cameron. So I don't want to jump to a conclusion just yet. But keep your eyes peeled if this movie does end up getting developed, because just by hearing the background of it, I'm already interested in watching it. The next thing I wanted to talk about is that Robert Pattinson is starring on a new film directed by Parasite's Bong Joon-ho, I think, or Bong Joon-ho. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. He's Korean, I'm Hispanic, you know, two things where we cannot pronounce it. But then again, there is a lot of Koreans in Mexico City, so damn, I need to make my ancestors proud. Anywho, the movie is called Mickey 17, and it looks like it's about somebody who signed up to be an experiment to die constantly and later finds himself cloned. I'm like, what the hell? And if you're thinking about Robert Pattinson's accent, it is completely different in this movie. Like, is this really his voice? Like, we heard him in Batman, we heard him in Twilight, I've heard him in interviews. This is a different accent. Delusions, like he said in that one movie on Netflix. But alongside with him, Steven Yeun, Naomi Aki, Mark Ruffalo, and Toni Collette also star in this movie, which is set to release on January 31st, 2025. A couple days after my birthday, just saying. In other news, and the last thing I have for you guys in this category, is that Transformers have more projects ahead that will keep them on the big screen a bit longer. So I saw the report on Collider, and they stated that the goal is to focus on the robots' POV in the live action films. The next live action film will be a crossover with G.I. Joe, and I think we mentioned it like a long time ago, so I can't wait to see that one happen. And then they're also planning a sequel for the current movie that's out for Transformers 1. And then, quote, instead of them reacting to the human plot, their drive has to be a part of that story now. So I guess forget about the humans. It's all about the robots now. And with that being said, that wraps up what I have for you guys in the movies category. Now let's move it to television. I did not know, like as soon as I finished uploading last week's episode, the Emmys was happening. I'm like, oh my god, it was this big. So let's talk about just a little bit of it. Of course, we mentioned the nominees on a previous episode. So let's talk about The Bear really quick. I was surprised that The Bear didn't win Best Comedy Series this year, but everyone, including me, doesn't think that it's considered comedy. Like in certain episodes, it was more like of a thriller or, you know, drama. And since we're already talking about that little part, one of the wins that kind of got me, you know, feeling a little bit emotional was Lisa Colón Sayas. She became the first Latina Emmy winner for Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series. And she gave this speech that, oh my god, I cried. Obviously, during the speech, she was more like in shock that she won. And she thanked everybody that is mostly thankful for, like the creators, the cast, everybody else. But then she ends it with, quote, to all the Latinas looking at me, keep believing and vote. Vote for your rights. And I'm just like, man, you're gonna make me cry. And I know we're not gonna talk about politics and all of that, but I love how she just said Latinas as well to keep pushing forward, because it's not just with the Emmys and also with the Oscars. Like, they thought that like the award ceremony was just profiling high paid actors and actresses who are mostly white, and you know, they're trying to change that, and that was basically what happened with the Emmys. Now it was more people of color that were winning these awards. So I'm like, okay, we love the diversity on here. So there's that. Aside from that, also they wanted to mention Fallout. For example, I was rooting for them, but unfortunately they didn't win the main awards that I wanted them to win. But they did win one for Outstanding Music Supervision, so I'm like, okay, but it's one at least. And then Shogun took over the drama category and even won Emmy for Outstanding Drama Series. So you best believe I will be watching that next once I finish Narcos. That's what I'm currently watching right now. Baby Reindeer dominated the Outstanding Limited or Anthology Series. Before I started watching Narcos, I did try to give Baby Reindeer a chance. And when I was watching the first episode, I was like, I get it. It's like inspired by true events. And I was trying, but at the same time, I don't know if I got bored or I just wasn't hooked as much. But then again, it was the plot. Usually you don't get hooked on the plot. It's mostly later throughout the series. But I'm like, I don't know. And it won an Emmy. Maybe potentially I'll give it a try after Shogun. Maybe though. I'm not giving any guarantees. But anywho, that was mostly what happened at the Emmys and a few little jokes here and there. But let's go ahead and move it along. The next thing I also wanted to mention is that Agatha All Along is now streaming the first 2 episodes on Disney+. Marvel actually released the schedule of when the rest of the episodes will be releasing. And we already know it's going to be on every Wednesday. However, episodes 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are going to be releasing like as it's projected to be. Like September 25th, October 2nd, October 9th, 16th, 23rd. But on Halloween Eve, I guess you would say, on October 30th, episodes 8 and 9 will be releasing, just concluding the whole series right before Halloween. So if you're planning to watch something for Halloween specifically, just wait until all the episodes get released and then boom, now you got something to binge watch. And the last thing I have for you guys in the TV category is that it looks like Devil May Cry will be getting an animated series on Netflix. So they actually released a teaser trailer introducing Dante and him showing off his weapon skills as always. And this series is planned to stream on April 2025. So if you guys are interested in that whole franchise or, the game itself, definitely go check out the trailer. And if I manage to watch all the shows that I need to watch by this time, maybe potentially I might watch it. Alright, and that was it for the TV category. Now let's talk about music. We have a lot. Let's go ahead and talk about Metallica. So they announced their M72 World Tour. However, we only got North American dates. What's all that about? Now, here's the thing where I'm gonna get iffy. Yes, Houston is a part of this tour, but why am I already complaining about what we're getting and then other people are getting like, why? What do I mean by this? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you ever look at this amazing infographic that they provided, Metallica is going to be having either no repeat weekends, meaning 2 nights, 2 different sets, and 2 different opening acts, or you're going to be getting a 1 night only. Some of us who like 1 night stands are like, oh, okay, yeah. But then when you get to see what's on the no repeat weekend, you're going to be like, wait, I'd rather have this than the 1 night only. Houston happens to be the last stop for the 1 night only, but not really, because after that, then there's other shows that they're going to be stopping by. So if you're in Toronto, Ontario, Nashville, Columbus, Philly, Tampa, Santa Clara, or even Denver, I envy you guys so much. Why? Because not only you're gonna get Pantera and Suicidal Tendencies, you're also gonna be getting Limp Bizkit and Ice 9 Kills. Like, what the fuck? Must be fucking nice. Oh, and not only that, Metallica's not repeating the same set list they did one night compared to the next night. I'm like, what the fuck? For us in Houston, Atlanta, Charlotte, Landover, Blacksburg, and Syracuse, we're only going to be getting Pantera and Suicidal Tendencies. Las Vegas, on the other hand, they're going to be having Metallica for Sick New World, so that's like meh. I forgot, in Columbus, Ohio, they're going to be getting Sonic Temple, so I'm like, that makes sense. Either way, whenever this tour got announced, a couple of my friends was telling me about it, saying, oh my god, we need to go, or I'm going, this and that. Me, I'm like, I'm debating, but at the same time, I'm like, I highly doubt I'm gonna be able to get tickets because I can already feel that it's gonna get sold out. So we'll see. And if you guys are interested about the tickets, let me tell you guys something. Pre-sale for Fan Club will be on sale tomorrow, September 23rd, and general sale opens on Friday, September 27th. However, here's the good thing. If you're planning to travel, for example, Metallica will be selling travel packages on September 23rd on your local time, I think, and they're not password protected. I saw the website. I'm not doing it, just so y'all know. Like, I don't think I'm gonna financially recover for sure on that aspect, but I'm letting you guys know about it. So, what does this mean? It means that some packages does include snake pit tickets. So do what you will with that information. But yeah, I'm like, take advantage of it. If you are planning to travel, even better. Again, I'm just gonna let fate decide if I am gonna go or not, because I'm not gonna travel when there's literally a pit stop for Houston and it's not far from me. So there's that. And that's what I did with Slipknot and Slaughter Prevail. I just let fate handle it, and for some reason I got tickets with a good ass view. That's why y'all need to check out that vlog video. But yeah, so hopefully y'all get to snag some tickets if you are Metallica fans. And since we just mentioned Sonic Temple, that's the next thing I do need to talk about. So they did announce that they will be coming back to Columbus, Ohio on May 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th of, next year, of course. And performing Friday and Sunday will be Metallica, with support from Friday will be Rob Zombie, and Sunday will be Alice in Chains. So for 4 days, Sonic Temple will have over 100 bands. And this event will be taking place at the historic Cruise Stadium. So tickets will be on sale on September 25th, 12 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're already like, oh, I just want to watch Metallica, boom, there you go. But at the same time, we don't know what other bands are still going to be yet to announce. But still, snag your tickets while you can. Now let's go ahead and move a little bit more along. The next thing I want to talk about is Knotfest, Iowa. It was yesterday. I'm kind of glad I didn't go. Again, fate literally works wonders. Why? In the beginning, the show kicked off really well. So other things that were happening, like aside from the bands performing, is that Joey Jordison's family attended the event and were giving away, like, I think it was at least 1,000 t-shirts that had Joey's mask right in front of it. All I have to say is that I would have gladly bought it. Are they on sale somewhere? Just let me know. But if some of you scalpers are selling it, I'm not buying it from y'all. If it's not like at least $30, no thank you. Joey would not have approved, just saying. But anywho, this kicked off the first annual Joey Jordison Fan Appreciation Day. Thanks to the festival, a lot of fans paid their respects to Joey's grave. Now, I haven't gotten an update to see if this also happened, but I'm pretty sure they did the same thing for Paul Gray's grave. It sounded like a tongue twister for a second. Now, the bad part was that Knotfest was actually cut short during Slipknot's performance due to severe weather. I think they ended like around 10 p.m. I mean, the good news is that they adjusted the rest of the other band's performances to start at an earlier time. And I think Slipknot, for example, they were set to perform at 9, but then they adjusted it for them to perform at 8 o'clock. So an hour difference. And the thing is that I did see that Till Lindemann did perform, and I'm still waiting to see if Rammstein will ever collab with Slipknot or, Slaughter to Prevail. But yeah, either way, like, fans did get their money's worth. I mean, it's Slipknot. Me, I'm like, I'm sorry. At least I got to see them in Dallas, so I'm okay with that. So, yeah, there's that. But speaking of Slipknot, the other thing I also wanted to talk about is that they're going to be heading to Mexico City on November 9, which we mentioned before. And they're still continuing that 25th anniversary tour. So they made an announcement that they're going to be giving away a trip for you to see them live. I'm just saying for you, maybe including me too. But Corey made the announcement, and the only way to win is by going to Prizeo, prizeo.com/Slipknot, and tag your +1 in the comments, apparently. But if you go onto the website, you can actually get like a free entry. But if you donate more money, then you get more entries. Now, the giveaway does include 2 tickets to see Slipknot live at the Bicentennial Park in Mexico City on November 9th with special guests Baby Metal and Orbit Culture. You will also have side stage viewing for 2 songs and front of the house access for the rest of the show. You also get backstage meet and greet with the band. A day of exploration in Mexico City, curated by Corey Taylor, featuring his favorite sites and local spots with a personal tour guide. You also get merch pack, round trip airfare for you and a guest, and hotel accommodations for 2 nights. I'm like, oh my god. Now, if you do donate money, the money will go towards the Taylor Foundation to support military veterans and first responders living with PTSD. The least amount of money that you could donate for extra entries is $10, and that's actually a total of 100 entries. So there's that. Like, it's for a good cause, so the higher amount that you donate, the higher chance you have of winning. So there is that. Now, since we're still talking about Slipknot, I got tea. I know, I'm like, finally some Slipknot tea and not news. So I got to see a post that Clown opened up during a Metal Hammer interview about the band's legacy and 25th anniversary. And when he was talking about the members, he actually said something interesting that we need to kind of discuss. He said, quote, I can't tell you how close we were then. We're not that close anymore. People are gone. Craig's out. Chris is out. Joey's out. Paul's out. The band is different. But back then, there was 9 guys that wanted to be in the same place. And we made it work. And we wound up here, and here is wonderful. Personally, like me speaking, they still performed great when I saw them. And yes, it still felt off given that it was only Corey, Sid, Clown, Jim, and Mick. But to be fair, if you guys do not know the history of Slipknot, they have been having different members even before their self-titled album debuted. So when that album came out, like Jim, for example, he wasn't part of that album. He started performing with them afterwards. So I don't know if it's like bad, voodoo, whatever you guys want to call it. Maybe that's why it's always different members. But they sustain the same members from the self-titled to Iowa Volume 3 all the way till All Hope Is Gone. So it kind of sucks. There was the discussion in the comment section of the post that I got to see where people were saying, like, for example, oh, that's because Slipknot went corporate or something. But at the same time, it's just things happen. Like, I remember, and I mentioned it again before, and fuck it, I guess we'll say it again. I remember when I first found out that Paul Gray passed away. I mean, obviously I cried. But I knew that was the end for Slipknot. I knew the music was never going to be the same. Even if they replaced the member, whatever, it wasn't gonna be the same anymore. And yeah, we got to see that downfall afterwards. Like, now that I think about it, is there like a band out there that has been active for, let's say, over 10 years that still has the original members? I want to say I think I know one. Oh my god. And it's Rammstein of all people. Yeah. OGs right then and there. I think that's why they actually have so much fan base when it comes to that. And you know what? I ended up going, like, I paused for a second just to look this up and confirm. And here's the crazy thing that I saw on Wikipedia. RZK actually said in a Revolver magazine interview that the reason why the band has been sticking around since 1994, by the way, that's, yeah, already 30 years, sweet Jesus. The reason why is because they respect each other's wishes to take a break, either for personal reasons or to focus on a side project. And I'm like, that makes so much sense, you know. And RZK, for example, he has a group called Emigrant, and then Till Linderman's doing his solo thing. I mean, before that he had Linderman, so there's that. See, that's what happens. And I mean, Slipknot, they have a bad history, obviously, because it wasn't just, I guess, what people would say corporate decisions, but you know, you would have to also involve drugs, alcohol, mental health. All of that was probably part of reasons why people left. Look at Paul Gray of what happened, and then Chris Van was probably like for legal reasons. So everything like that, I want to say for most of the bands, is reasons why not a lot of people have a consistent band lineup. And if they do, give it a couple more years and we'll see if they're still around. Now, that was the only thing I wanted to talk about. And now let's get away a little bit from Slipknot and let's talk about Vended. So yes, I did get to see them live, but their self-titled album is out and I have some thoughts. So my favorite song from that whole album is actually Serenity. And them performing the song is on my blog video, so it was really good. I love the melody. Their style of music is so much different than other bands. I don't know if, let's say, for example, if you were to listen to bands like, I don't know, I would say Motionless in White, maybe Ice Nine Kills and Bad Omens, it kind of has some similarity right there. And then when you listen to Vended, it's like complete opposite. So it's not Slipknot, and I know some of you guys are probably thinking that, given that, you know, Griffin Taylor is the lead singer of the band, who also happens to be Corey Taylor's son. But Griffin, the way how he sings, it still gives Corey early vocals, like wow. And the melody notes, it just hits so good. So I recommend it. Definitely go listen to it. And really quick, before we continue moving on, I still want to talk about Griffin Taylor really quick. So he celebrated his birthday, which happened to be while they were on tour in Austin. And Knock Loose, Slipknot, they were all there. And Griffin even posted on social media that it was his first time celebrating his birthday while he's on tour. So he posted on there was like a picture of him with, Corey and Alicia Taylor, who gave him a cake that says happy birthday, Griffin. But the other thing that kind of caught me off guard is that Slaughter to Prevail actually stopped by to surprise him. And remember, I don't know if it's just Griffin or everybody in Vended, they're like fans of Slaughter to Prevail. So Griffin included another picture where it's him and Alex Terrible, and they're like kind of like screaming it out, whatever. And I'm like, this is so freaking adorable. I love them so much. And so the other thing I also couldn't help but to notice that in the comment section, Alex said, quote, "Don't play with KFC chicken too much, man. Always remember about your 30s. Time flies. Happy birthday." And I'm like, you didn't sound old right there. But yeah, so Alex is 2 years older than me. He just turned 31. I'm 29. So, but yeah, I was like, oh, come on, man. But I love that he did that. Because, I mean, he knows that they're fans. And, of course, they're in a band. So they're like, let's go surprise them and whatnot. And again, I mentioned in the blog video, they also got to see Slipknot perform live. So I'm like, I love that they did that for them. I'm like, man, I wish I was in a band so that way I can get Alex to surprise me for my birthday. Nah, I'm kidding. But still, happy birthday to Griffin. He's already kicking off. I don't know if he just turned 20. I counted 20 candles, but I might be mistaken. But the fact that, yes, he's on tour with his dad and their self-titled album for his band is already out. I'm like, damn. He's living good. Must be nice. But anywho, that basically wraps up for Vended. Let's go ahead and continue on in the music category. Yeah, I still have more things to talk about. The next thing is Deftones. And they announced their North American tour. That's going to be kicking off on February 25th in Portland, Oregon. I feel like fans are not satisfied with just anything. Guilty as charged too. Why do I say this? Is because when I got to see the announcement, I also went to the comment section. And a lot of fans were pointing out that there was not a single Canada stop. So it's like, what's the point of calling it a North American tour? Just call it American tour. This, and that. But anywho, we do have a Houston stop, which happens to be on March 16th. Dallas and San Antonio are also there. And you know what's funny? I wasn't going to mention it, but I'm like, fuck it, why not? I did see a video on Rockfeed, and they were talking about a tour, and I think it was Metallica or maybe Deftones, I don't remember. But the guy that is doing like the Rockfeed and all of that, he says, oh, like if you ever question like on a tour thingy and wondered, oh, how come my city is not on there? Ask yourself, does my city suck? Kind of like that. And so if your city sucks, chances are your favorite band might not even make a stop there. And then I even commented on there, I'm like, so what's the deal with Slipknot and Houston? Like, they're not coming over here, they're going to Dallas. But it turns out that they even skipped Chicago. So I'm like, how in the hell are you gonna skip the third and the fourth largest cities, and yet you're gonna go to other places that are not that common? I'm not saying about Dallas, I'm talking about other places that were a part of the 25th anniversary tour that had a stop. So I don't know, it doesn't make any sense, but that's that. And then you look at Five Finger Death Punch, they actually had Houston as the last stop. So I don't know what the whole deal it is on that, but this is what they have on Deftones. There is a lot of good stops, so if you guys are interested in going, not only you're gonna see Deftones, but you're also gonna see the Mars Volta and Flesh Water. Tickets are now on sale. The next tour announcement, I actually found it on Knotfest, is that Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine are gonna be on the road with August Burn Red, and depending on which date, so for example March 30th to April 17th, they're all gonna be joined by Silosis, and from April 19th to May 18th will be with Bleed From Within. Same thing for this tour, tickets are now on sale. Now aside from tours, let's go ahead and talk about Ice Nine Kills. So they announced on Silver Screen Con that they will be collaborating with Terrifier 3. They posted on social media like, quote, the work of art, and will be featured on a highly anticipated film that's going to be coming out on October 11th. But Xmas, that's what they said, comes early for any Austin, Texas cycle. On September 19th, Fanatics Fest will world premiere the film at Alamo Drafthouse along Ice Nine Kills official Terrifier 3 music video, and will play after the film in select AMC theaters nationwide on October 10th. The single and film hits theaters on October 11th. And the last thing I have for you guys in this category finally is that it looks like Bad Omens are cooking a new album. So they posted a series of pictures of Noah and Jolly in the studio recording new materials on their social media with the caption, "To Soundless Dark I Stare." So now y'all know there's a possible album coming out if you guys listen to Bad Omens. And with that being said, that wraps up the music category, and let's go ahead and go to the gaming stuff. So we need to talk about Chucky collaborating with Magic the Gathering. Yes, you heard it right. And it's funny because I know Magic has collaborated with Fallout, and the fact that they're going to be collaborating with Chucky, I'm starting to wonder what else is going to be coming up next. So the good thing is we got a sneak peek of 4 cards that they released, so I want to talk about them really quick. The artwork, however, I don't know. The one art piece that I'm not feeling is Tiffany's. It looks so weird. I don't know what it is, but if y'all know which one I'm talking about, yeah, I don't know. They need to improve that one. But let's say, for example, there's this one card. I don't know if you guys know about Magic. I remember I played it, but I get bored. It's just not for some people. So, and yet I'm over here looking at Warhammer stuff. What's up with that? But anywho, one of the cards is called Play Pals Factory, and I want to say this is regarding of the second Child's Play movie. And that card, underneath it, it says Genesis Chamber, and it's an artifact. And on the card it says, whenever a non-token creature enters, if Play Pals Factory is untapped, that creature's controller creates a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature token. It's mirror or mer? I don't remember. And it says, quote, Andy, please, I was only playing. So that's that card. The next card says Friends to the End, which is a twin flame, and it goes by 1 fire. I think that's what it is. It's a sorcery card, and it says Strive dash. This spell costs 2 fire. I don't know. I don't remember playing Magic anymore to see what I'm talking about. But it says more to cast for each target beyond the first. Choose any number of target creatures you control. For each of them, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it has haste. Exile those tokens at the beginning of the next end step. So that's that card. Now let's look at Tiffany, Bride of Chucky. And I forgot what the skull one meant, whether if it was stone, I don't even remember, but that's what it is. It's Varagoth Bloodsky Sire. It's a legendary creature, demon rogue. Interesting. And it says Death Touch. Boast 1 skull thingy. Target player searches their library for a card, then shuffles and puts that card on top. And it says with the quote, sorry, I'm not into short guys. I am dead. I think I'm starting to get an idea of what this card could possibly do. So like you can actually make your opponent lose or something. It's to the point where if the other player who plays Tiffany were to, search for a specific card that can actually damage the opponent instead of, favoring the next move, that's what that will be. And then the last card that we also got a sneak peek, it says, sorry Jack, Chucky's back. And that is an enchantment card which says pay 2 life, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And it says, quote, I don't care what it takes, put a lid on this. And it says Mr. Sullivan, Play Pal CEO. Also, if you're seeing the same artwork I'm seeing, why does that guy look like it's Stephen Hawking? That's just my opinion, but yeah. But anywho, those are the sneak peek cards. If you guys are interested in obtaining them, or you're just a big, huge Magic the Gathering fan, these cards are for you. And I feel like they're doing this collaboration since Halloween is slowly approaching. And then the last thing I want to talk about in the gaming category that's not Magic the Gathering anymore is that Sony announced their 30th anniversary collection that includes limited edition of the PlayStation 5, the PS5 Pro, and controllers. So pre-orders of all of these products are set to begin on September 26th, and it will be released on November 21st. So I just realized something. These are going to be limited edition, so only a certain amount of these consoles are going to be like available for pre-order. And I'm over here like, I'm pretty sure the pre-orders are going to sell out. So it's not even going to be able to be released like during that time. And I can't also help but to realize they did not release how much these consoles are going to be. I'm like, I have a feeling it's going to be minimum, maybe $600. And I'm like, not for me. So if you guys don't remember how the original PlayStation looked like, it was basically like this light grayish color, and that's exactly how these controllers and the consoles are going to be. So people that are like huge fans of PlayStation are definitely going to try to get their hands on this. And that wraps up all I have for you guys in the gaming category, which it was only 2 things. But anywho, let's go ahead and move on to wrestling. Now, when I started drafting the episode, I had something that looked like it was a possible thing that might happen. But then I took a pause for a minute and then realized, yeah, no, it was not happening at all. So basically, there was this rumor going around, thanks to Ringside News, that the Lucha Brothers, meaning Penta Acero and Rey Fénix, signed a multi-year contract with WWE. Now, I personally would have loved to see that. If it was true, I would have been like, hell to the fucking yeah. But then I went on Threads and then saw Fightful Wrestling that they posted confirming that that did not happen. It was just a rumor, but there has not been any talks, this and that. All I'm saying that even if they did sign contracts, possibly what would have happened is that they were going to go straight to the main roster. Like, they weren't even going to go to NXT because, come on, they have so much experience. But I wish it was true. The only way for us to actually know if it was confirmed or not is if we don't see the Lucha Bros on AEW. Just anytime from now to maybe by the end of the year. If they show up on TV, then we all know it was a damn lie. So there's that. But it keeps us wrestling fans alert just in case there is a possibility that maybe WWE is considering on signing them. So let's go ahead and put our guard up on that one. But anywho, since I was in Dallas this past Wednesday, I don't have any news for AEW. And I have not even tried to get caught up on it. So let's just talk about WWE really quick. And one thing for sure, remember how I mentioned last week about the whole comparison between the Raw and SmackDown general manager? Well, it's now proving that infographic right. Why do I say this? Is because there was a shit ton of chaos happening on Raw, and Adam Pearce was nowhere to be found to stop it. So basically, Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed are trying to cook up a storyline, but I feel like it was too much. Why? Because they, quote, knocked out a rope from the ring, and then Bronson all of a sudden threw a, quote, ban towards Braun. And I'm saying quote because I have a feeling it was staged, of course. But still, that's not even all. Hell, they even, quote, went through a wall, but we all know it was probably drywall. See, and this is what I mean. I swear to God, though, because of all of the events that are happening, I will be pissed, and mark my words, that Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed will be going up against each other at Bad Blood. And if they knock out the ring, just like Big Show and Brock Lesnar, or Big Show and Braun Strowman, it's gonna make me so fucking fucking curious. I feel like I'm not the only one that's thinking this might happen. Hell, the last time, again, remember when we saw that Big Show and Braun Strowman knock down the ring? Everybody was like, oh my god, what's new? Did I even cover that in an episode? I feel like I did. But either way, I'm like, please, for the love of God, we don't want to see it again because it's so fucking cliche. And I know Papa H can do so much better. But the first thing I realized, that might possibly happen is when, again, they knocked out the, quote, rope. I'm like, really? They're not even that fucking strong. Come on. We've seen them wrestle other people before, and not once anything near or around the ring has ever knocked out. Now, let me talk about the fan that they supposedly throw. Like, yes, they actually threw a person. The thing is that they're claiming that it was a fan. And I'm over here like, how much did y'all really pay this man? Or worse, is he training to be an NXT? Like, I know we're used to seeing like well-known wrestlers training and then, eventually making their debut on NXT. But at the same time, they do hire people that are not wrestlers, and just to get, additional TV time. I mean, every well-known wrestler that we know now has been like those extras in the past, like MJF being knocked down by Samoa Joe. I did not know that Joe Hendry was actually the lawyer for Rusev and Lana back way whenever Rusev was the United States champion. So there's that. Like, they always have these extras. So I'm like, was this fan like an extra? But he was paid to be an extra to get swung by Bronson Reed, because ain't no fucking way that was an actual fan. We would have seen it all over social media, on TikTok especially, I think. Why? Because I could have sworn I saw a phone being flown off. But yeah, I'm like, come on guys, Papa H, you can do better than this. Like, when a wrestling fan has been watching all of these shows for so long, you can start detecting what was staged or not. And this screams staged like you have no idea. And I'm over here like pissed about it, because I'm like, bro, no, we don't like the obvious. So there's that. But anywho, we'll see how that's going to turn out. And we are going to be covering Bad Blood in 2 weeks. And speaking of Bad Blood, the other thing, we did get confirmation that Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns will be teaming up to go up against Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. And to promote this match, Cody and Roman cut this really long ass cinematic promo to see who is more Georgian, since Cody's hometown happens to be in Atlanta, I think, and Roman played college football for Georgia Tech. So they're over there trying to do like, oh no, this is my yard, and then Cody's like, no, this is my home, whatever. But at the end of the day, they just said they're gonna call it truce, and then they're gonna be teaming up, and it's not looking so well for Kevin Owens. But so far, we don't know what to expect. We finally might be able to get heel Kevin Owens because of this team up, but we'll see. Anywho, that promo that they cut, even though it did look theatrical, whatever, a lot of people on social media were saying, is this what it's gonna look like when WWE goes on Netflix? Every promo is gonna look like it's a drama series or something. And I'm like, you might be right, and I don't like it if that's actually gonna happen, because again, that promo was so unnecessary. But I guess so. Again, we're gonna be talking about that match, but it makes so much sense of who's gonna win if Cody and Roman are over there, saying, oh, we're Georgian, whatever. Makes sense who's probably gonna win. Anywho, the last thing I want to talk about in this category is that Saturday night's main event is coming back to NBC on December 14th, and will also be available on Peacocks, in case if you don't have it. But it's a ordinary antenna channel. I don't even know what to call it anymore. But anywho, the special will be held at Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Long Island, New York, which happens to be the first ever Saturday night's main event was held at. For those that are fanatics of this special event that's going to be coming up, tickets are now on sale. And with that being said, that wraps up this week's episode. Make sure to follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. at It's Lielers. And also do not forget to follow me on TikTok at Lielers. Lielers on TikTok. Yes, that blog video is out. Definitely go check it out. I could not help but to also notice that the video that I uploaded on YouTube to promote the blog video is going up like crazy. So far it's already at 1.2k views, and I'm over here like, okay, all those people that liked and seen that video, go watch the blog video. Like, it's there. But anywho, yeah, definitely go check it out. And again, if y'all don't know, the next blog video that's going to be coming out is me going to SpaceCon next month, which is going to be held in San Antonio. After that, I don't know what other blog videos are going to be coming out, so let's just wait and see. But yeah, definitely go subscribe to that YouTube channel. Also, don't forget, spooky season technically already started like in the beginning of this month, but if you're old-fashioned and is waiting for fall to start, today is the first day of fall. So spooky season is here. Go celebrate, start buying candy, and send them over here to me. No, I'm kidding. But anywho, next week, we're still going to be covering stuff that happened on pop culture. We don't have like anything that's planned just yet. I know in 2 weeks, I mentioned before, we're going to be covering Bad Blood. So there's that. But as always, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode, and I will talk to you guys on the next one.